more Game of the Year candidates, I think, in this first week of the second half than we saw in the entire first half. Cranford takes off. This one's lined into left center, and it's going to get into the gap. Cranford's going to come around to tie this ball game up. Welcome to the Snappers, Adam Hunt. And RBI double ties this one up, and he is the winning run at second base.
It's one more to even that streak.
First pitch to Quinones, hit to left center. Going back on it, McIntyre looking up at the wall. Goodbye. How's that for a first hit on the season? William Quinones out past the 385 sign in center field. Snappers get their first hit. Quinones gets his first hit. How about that? Tied up at 1. This one's on the ground to second. Diving stop by Whitehead. The throw from his knees is in time. Cheslin Whitehead saves a run and gets the Snappers out of the inning.
Second, somehow got a backhand pick. And, we saw that power from Quinones in the home run derby as well as he made the finals.
2 homers in the first round was all he needed to move on. And this one, high and deep to left, and make it 4 for Quinones. A 2-run shot. Snappers on top. Right on cue. Nate Skinner back out for his 5th inning of work. He's been, very efficient through the first 4 innings. 36 pitches, 30 strikes, which is impressive enough in its own right, but perhaps just as impressive, 11 of 13 first pitch strikes to the snapper hitter. He's going to have 4, 5, and 6. Adam Hunt, Ryan Coleman, and Cheslin Whitehead as the Snappers look to fight back from a 2-0 deficit, and there's another first pitch strike as Adam Hunt swings through it.
And Jake, one thing to consider as the Suns angle towards a first-round playoff matchup, Mike McCulley was the staff ace and certainly earned that title after 6 or 7 really electric starts. He had one rough outing against Winter Garden, but apart from that, a sub-2.5 ERA, a phenomenal strikeout-to-walk ratio, well-deserving of the call up to the Cape Cod League. But the Suns now have to figure out who they would potentially be throwing either in a one-game play-in or Game 1 in the best-of-3 series. Nate Skinner certainly doing a good job of auditioning for potentially a playoff start.
Here's the 0-2, and it's swung on and missed. Make it 6 on the night for Skinner. And if you're Coach Mike Powers, the schedule sort of lines up for it. Of course, he'd be throwing on, I'll do my quick math here, 4 days rest if he were to pitch in Sunday's play-in game.
And we'll see. And he's been extremely economical with the pitch count, but we'll see what happens regarding the management of Skinner here. Nobody warming in the bullpen right now.
Tried to go for the breaking ball to Ryan Coleman, misses inside. Coleman was the first of the 6 strikeout victims. That was back in the second. Had 2 hits in the ballgame last night in Leesburg, including an RBI double. He's going to foul this one off to the left side.
Leesburg, like you mentioned, in a game against the Rats right now. The Suns and the Lightning have a 3-game set coming up to finish out the regular season, starting tomorrow in Leesburg.
1-1 misses up and away to Coleman. On deck, Cheslin Whitehead, followed by Jack Spates. Spates, the lone snapper to record a base hit so far.
I believe a Leesburg win and a DeLand loss tonight.
This one's going to be lined in the left center gap. Diving is Chayka, and he can't come up with it. We almost had a web gem right there, but in and out of the glove of Chayka. It'll be a base hit for Ryan Coleman, and the Snappers have a runner on with 1 away.
It looked like Chayka got to that ball, but just couldn't quite keep it in the glove. Full extension out of the Kentucky Wesleyan product. But back to my point on the Lightning and the Suns. A Lightning win coupled with a Suns loss, I believe, would lock Leesburg into the 2 seed.
up and into Whitehead, as we had mentioned in our pregame conversation that 1 and 2 is likely to be Sanford and Leesburg. Order of that to be
I
determined.
should say it would lock them into a top 2 seed, is what I was trying to get at.
At least the 2 seed, yes. As I knew what you meant.
Yeah, exactly. You knew where I was going.
But those 3, 4, and 5 is anyone's to grab. Suns, of course, get 3 games against the Lightning starting tomorrow. Whitehead up the middle for a base hit, back-to-back for the Snappers. Shaker will get it in. First and second, still 1 away, and here's Jack Spates. So they came into the inning with just 1 hit, and they've recorded back-to-back against Skinner here with 1 away.
Whitehead just taking that right back where it came from. Clean single up the middle. Only a 2-0 ball game. The Suns have 7 hits, but haven't been able to put up more than the 2 they got in the first inning.
Jack Spates, the extra hitter, first pitch swing, fouling it back above our heads here in the press box. So it's Ryan Coleman on second, Jeslyn Whitehead on first. As we've seen the Suns turn a couple double plays against the Snappers in these situations in the last few games they've played. Chop down the third base line and foul. Few feet away from being potentially 2 runs as that one got into the corner eventually. Nearly skipped right over the third base bag and said it's 0-2 to Spates. So this is a huge opportunity for the Snappers to get to Skinner, who's been oh so efficient through the first 4. 1 out here in the 5th. Spates fights it off. Good job to protect there.
Yeah, that was a good pitch from Skinner. Looked to be either the slider or the slurve. Kind of tough for us to tell from our vantage point here in Doc's box. As the field umpire Jared Neal takes a look at the baseball and chucks it out of play. And sometimes we see pitchers ask for a new ball from home plate umpires, but the ball generally just goes back in the home plate umpire's satchel on his hip. That one got thrown completely out of play.
We're going to do it again, 0-2 to Spates. This one's a little too high. Spates holds back. Robbie Post on deck.
Good idea by Skinner. Went with the elevated fastball, but Spates held up.
It's 1-2 to Spates. Taps this one out in front of the mound. Only play is going to be to 1. Tough play for Skinner, and the throw's off the bag. It's going to be an infield single for Spates, and the bases are loaded. 3 consecutive hits for the Snappers.
Looks just like DeLand's first inning. They strung together 4 straight singles and are up to putting up 2. That's the only scoring of the ball game so far. It's 2-0 Suns. Both of those runs in the bottom of the first inning. Now Robbie Post finds himself in a big-time situation for Seminole County.
Robbie Post came into this season figuring to be one of the pivotal bats in the Snapper lineup. And he rips this one into the right center field gap. Going back on it, Shaka, he'll make the catch. And Coleman didn't tag. Now he goes, and he's still going to be in there. Coleman was not ready to tag initially when Shaka made that catch. Luckily, still able to get in to cut the lead in half. A sacrifice flying an RBI for Post, but
a big sigh of relief out of Ryan Coleman. That was almost a major mistake mentally. And Chaka, one of the better defensive outfielders we've got down here in the Florida League this summer, covers so much ground in center field. Had to go a good ways back into the right center field gap. Caught it maybe 7 or 8 feet in front of the Corey Kluber Championship Culture banner here at Conrad Park. Yeah, Ryan Coleman just not on the bag. He's fortunate that ball was deep enough for him to retreat and still get home.
Well, we have this mound visit here. I have to wonder, I want to go back to the whole thing with the baseball. Is it just me, but I feel like with everything that's going around in baseball now, every time you have those conversations, I'm left to think it's a substance check.
Oh, that's immediately what I flashed to. I don't know what the Florida League policies on spider tack are necessarily. I feel like we got some sort of conversation going down here on the field. They sorted it out, whatever it was.
First and second, 2 away. Here's Collier Cranford, the LSU shortstop. Checks his swing as he tried to go for the breaking ball, 1-0. Cranford has a chance to potentially tie this ball game up. Whitehead has decent speed at second to score on a base hit. First run of the ball game scored for the Snappers here on the sacrifice fly by Robbie Post. Another breaking ball misses away, 2-0.
There is action in the Suns bullpen now. And it's the reigning Florida League Pitcher of the Week, Connor Udell. Remains to be seen when he'll get into this ball game.
2-0, grounded to second, eats up 8, and he's still going to recover, throwing to first in time to get Cranford. So the inning is over, but not before the Snappers cut the lead in half. It's now 2-1. We go to the top of the 6th for the Snappers tonight. He'll be caught by Josh Blackmore. Chase Malloy, the leadoff batter from Jacksonville, 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. He led it off with a high pop-up on the infield that was dropped by Collier Cranford. Still ruled a hit, however, for Malloy, as the first pitch from Huddy is in there for a strike. Huddy making his 5th start of the season for Seminole County. Has been one of their more dependable arms. 17 strikeouts to just 2 walks. As that one's going to miss up. It's interesting. He's allowed 11 earned runs over the course of this season, but 7 of those 11 home runs have come on 3 home run balls. He gave up a grand slam here in his first start to Robert Chayka, and then back-to-back home runs in Winter Park, but otherwise has been phenomenal. Part of that reason is that great changeup you just saw there. 1 and 2 to Malloy. Opponent's hitting .231 against Huddy. He's pitching to a 1.02 whip. Guy who's just not afraid to pound the strike zone. This one's going to miss up.
Important to note, too, Bishop Moore is probably the smallest park. I don't have every park's dimension off the top of my head, but it is one of the smallest, if not the smallest park in the Florida League. A little easier to hit home runs there.
2-2 swung on and missed. Make it 18 strikeouts on the season for Huddy. His first sets down Malloy here tonight.
I did not see a lot of strikeouts last night. It took until the 9th inning for the Lightning to pick up their first 2 strikeouts. That came from Matt Coles when the game was well out of reach, and the Lightning lineup only struck out 4 times themselves.
Nafis Llanos now, the third baseman tonight. Swings at the first pitch, chops it to short, backhand, long throw from Cranford is dug out by Drapo, and they got him. Collier Cranford showing off that arm deep in the hole to get the hustling Llanos 2 away.
Yeah, it looked like he threw it off his heels, and he wanted to get a pump in there just to make sure he threw it on target, but he realized how fast Llanos was and how quickly he was making it down the line. A really nice adjustment and an even better throw from Collier Cranford.
And credit Brandon Drapo to scoop that out on the back end. This is going to bring up Clay Stearns, who had quite the bounce-back game yesterday. Going 2 for 2 with a triple. He's going to step out here and call time.
He reached on a pair of walks as well. I mean, Clay has been the alpha dog offensively for the entire season. That's obviously excluding Vaughn Brown, who came a little late and left early. Nice bounce-back game for Clay.
This one's in here for a strike, and that's something that Huddy does very well, is throw the first pitch strike. He's had 3 here in the first inning, and his start against Sanford, his first one back in June, had an astonishing 13 of 15 first pitch strikes.
That is really important against this Lightning lineup. They, at times, do not handle the breaking ball out of the zone well. So, if Huddy can get ahead and start using that, could be a long night.
He's ahead 0-2 here, and this one's going to miss up. It's interesting to note here that Tucker Talbot, the center fielder, is actually playing Stearns in the right center field gap. A lot of room in left center for Stearns. 1-2 is fouled off.
Talbot is playing a couple feet away from where Stearns crushed that triple yesterday.
We're going to do it again, 1-2. And this one's going to miss low and bounce away from Blackmore doing the catching tonight. Outfield left to right, Caleb Upshaw, Tucker Talbot, and Alex Britton. Jeslyn Whitehead and Brandon Drapeau on the corners. Collier Cranford, of course, at short, made that great play to get Llanos and Richie Lakes back in the lineup at second base. 2-2 swung on and missed. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Huddy. It's a 1-2-3 first. Snappers coming to bat against Dylan Kelly when we come back on Flow Sports.